and way more developed than you, only to go home that night bruised and battered and strained, but knowing you have to show up again the next day for just the chance to try again. But understand this, life is hard. No matter who you are, there are bumps and hits and bruises along the way. And my advice is to prepare yourself. Because football lessons teach us that success and achievement come from overcoming adversity. I remember being downstairs for like the fourth round, and I came and gone. And the fifth round, was coming and going, and all these other guys were getting picked, and it was hard. I remember taking a walk with my dad and mom around the block. Sorry about that. It was just a tough day, finally when the Patriots called, I was so excited. I was like, I don't have to be an insurance salesman. All those experiences that we think are the hardest things in our life end up being the best experiences in our life, because if you approach it with humility and you look inward, they become the best opportunities for growth and learning. Because I developed this work ethic in high school, and I realized, man, if I want to be good, I gotta wake up in the morning and I gotta do the extra work. And I gotta show up when other guys aren't. And I've got to learn. I've got to continue to be open to learning. To be successful at anything, the truth is you don't have to be special. You just have to be what most people aren't. Consistent, determined, and willing to work for it. Integrity, purpose, determination, and discipline that it takes to be a champion in life. No shortcuts. It was a tough battle for me. It was a tough go. It was tough in high school. It was really tough in college. If I want to be the best, I got to beat the best. And this is where the best are. Said I wasn't the prodigy. I learned about work ethic. I learned about resilience. I learned about gaining the trust and the respect of my teammates and coaches. I learned about how to dig deep within myself, a long way from home without a ton of support, to still try to find a way to succeed in this situation that I really wanted to be in because it was the best for me anyway. Focus on what you can control. Focus on what you're getting, not what anyone else is getting. Go out there and treat practice like no one else does. And I did that every single day. I didn't care about going to all these different places and doing those things. I just wanted to be my best. The team believed in me. I didn't want to let them down. What's the choice you get to make every day to wake up and say, all right, this is where I'm going to focus my time and energy? How disciplined are you to maintain that routine over a period of time? And I think that will determine your level of success. Be proud of that man that wakes up every day and does the best that he can do with his priorities.
Did you always have an absolute killer instinct where I'm going to show you, I'm going to prove the way to see what I'm going to do. I'm going to kill this guy when we face him? Was it always like that when you were in high school, or that kind of developed later on?
Yeah, I think it developed over a period of time. And I think there was a work ethic that was in me, but I was never, I would say, like a prodigy. I didn't have the arm that could throw the ball 80 yards. I didn't have the speed that Michael Vick had. I didn't have the size that a lot of guys had, but I did have something inside of me that no one could see from the outside, this level of discipline that I could accomplish something that was really important and really special. I wanted to be a great football player. If I was going to be a great football player, I wanted to compete against these other guys, and they were all better than me. Don't worry about all these things that are out of your control. Focus on what you can do. Focus on the 2 reps you got. Fuck your tired body, that unmotivated mind, and get out there and do it anyway. And the mindset is me versus me. It's no bullshit. It was all about not making excuses. Yeah. It was about how do we go out and get it done. I was so motivated to be the best I could be that I wasn't motivated to be the starter. I wasn't motivated to win the Super Bowl. I just was motivated to give my best, do the best with the opportunity I got, and to never let my teammates down. Those were my motivations. I think you wake up every day and hopefully you can look at yourself and say, did I give it my best? I wanted to be the best I could be, period. That's all I wanted. I just think winning Super Bowls was the result of a lot of great process. Like my view is like you can't control the outcome all the time, right? Like the ball's going to bounce the other team's way. Like shouldn't always go your way. So you get motivated by the losses, you stay motivated through the winning. What you can control is your process. You can control those intangibles. You can control the work ethic, the consistent discipline, your attitude, your culture, how much you care. All those things are in you. They just need to be drawn out of you. And really, when you're in that position that you feel like you're got those pretty well under control, then you start passing those on to the other people that you're working with that are parts of your team. Because I don't care how good any one of you are sitting out there. It doesn't matter unless you got a great team around you. You know, you could be great. You probably are great. You need a lot of other great people to support you. It takes so many people to get to where we get in our life. Yeah, I was there doing some of the work, but couldn't have done it if I didn't have them. When I was a quarterback, I was just playing quarterback. Yeah, it was me, the person, but it was me, the quarterback, that was out there because I was doing a job. I wasn't the father. I wasn't the dad out there. I wasn't, the husband out there. I was the quarterback out there on the field. I was the quarterback when I went to work. Nothing was going to get in the way of that. You've got to create a lot of different emotion to heighten your sense of awareness and focus. Like for me, anger was good. Anger was good because it was motivating. The more I could create an enemy, the more I wanted to go out and kill those guys. Now, I knew I was going to kill them physically, but man, if I could just, what did they say? And what did they look like? Do they disrespect me at all? Those are little things that can get me right in the emotional frame of mind that when I ran on the field and I said, let's fucking go. It was really, let's go kick some ass. That's what we were doing. This is the moment right now. Let's get to work. The fundamental belief is I'm giving myself to something greater than myself, something greater than me as an individual. If I look at that.
What's going on, family? Welcome to Coffee and Crypto. Thank you all so much, so very much for taking the time to be here. This show has been going on for quite some time now, and we're just grateful to have people that tune in, listen in, and is focused on doing what it is that we're doing, which is bettering our lives, creating more financial prosperity. And honestly, it doesn't matter how many, like I say, it doesn't even matter about the views, the tune ins no more. Like I've gotten over that, right? Like I've gotten over the fact that everybody can't go. I've gotten over the fact that, you tell people about this space and they always ask questions. And the moment you say, hey, I got a podcast at 10 a.m., they ask, still not here. And it just comes to the fact that, I've been making so much money over the last couple of weeks. And I remember experiencing this. I remember feeling this back in 2021, right after COVID, when everything was kind of exploding, right? Every market was exploding. I've experienced this before. And, people, they are around for the best times. People are around for the good times. They're around for the money. They're around for, when things are going up. But when it's going down, when it's 3 years of a 2 years, 3 years of a sideways market, and things are already have fallen down, and there's no visual representation, or people can't see clearly that the market will go back up because they've never experienced it before, or they just don't have the right paradigm to be an investor. You just got to realize that I have to leave those people where they are. I'm not here to try to influence and inspire a generation of people that don't want to be influenced and inspired, but here to do that for people that truly desire that. So if you are one of those people, I want to say congratulations. The information on today's call is absolutely ridiculous. Okay. We got so much stuff to cover. And to be real with y'all, I was sitting here like, man, I don't even have enough time. You see, I cut off the audio quick. I don't have enough time to cover every single thing that we want to talk about today. So I'm just going to try my best to cover things to the best of my abilities, and if you, at the end, If you're on our Zoom call and there's something that I missed that you want to share, feel free to pop in and share those things. But you guys have been dropping some amazing things in our Discord group. I really want to shout out our Discord group. I really want to shout out our community. And do me a quick favor, y'all. It's not enough people on Zoom. Please go over to the Zoom link. Don't ever, listen, y'all, don't ever get on the Zoom link from this moment forward and not go over to the Discord group and just say, yo, we here. Yo, I'm on the call. Yo, lock in. Don't ever come here and not do that. I don't want to see your name pop up on my Zoom call no more unless you hop onto Discord and do the same thing I did, right? It's each one teach one, right? This is a leader. We are building the leaders of today, the leaders of tomorrow, and the leaders of the day after tomorrow, okay? We are building that here at Coffee and Crypto, and it starts with those little gestures. You don't understand how just the power of unity and community can inspire people around that didn't even plan on being inspired this morning. Do y'all understand that there are people right now that are battling? Should I click on this link right here? They see it on YouTube. Should I join live right now, right? Listen, send them over the link. Send somebody over this thing. Let them know that, hey, I'm locked in for the next hour with Coffee and Crypto, and you should be locked in with us. You should be here as well. So I want to say thank you all so much. Yo, if you've been making money, listen, if you've made money with me, if you've made some money with me, period, just go ahead and drop some coffee in the chat box. If you've made some money with me, just drop some coffee in the chat box. Drop some coffee in the comments on YouTube if you have made some money with me, right? Hell, I've made some money with me. So I hope y'all made some money with me. That's for doggone sure. Okay. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get this party started. Okay. So here we go. So the first thing we're going to do is, we're going to start off with looking at where we are with the market right now. We're sitting at a 3.32 trillion. We still haven't broke above $3.5 trillion market cap just yet, which is perfectly okay. Keep sharing this out. Keep sharing this out. Keep sharing this out. Keep sharing the link. Keep letting people know we're here, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like while you're listening, you know what I mean? I'm talking and I'm about to break this thing down for y'all today so eloquently. All I ask is for us to increase the numbers on this call. Send this to somebody that you ain't never sent it to before. How about that? Send it to somebody you ain't talked to in a while. How about that? Just say, yo, I'm here. I want to invite you out to this YouTube video because I believe you're going to be able to get some value for your family, for yourself that you need. Because, man, listen, prices are not going down. Things are going up. People are not getting paid more at their jobs. Hell, people can't even find jobs right now. And we're going to discuss all of this today in the beginning of Coffee and Crypto. We're also going to discuss right now, we are also going to discuss a couple of acquisitions that's happening. We're going to talk about Ripple. We're going to talk about Hedera. We're going to talk about these new ETFs. We're going to talk about it today. We're going to talk about how you can get 4% cash back on XRP, right? Of XRP by just getting, right, your direct deposit sent through Uphold. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff today, but I need for y'all to help me increase these numbers. I need for y'all to get out of the Discord group. They already know. They already paid their money to be there. Send this to somebody else, that really needs this today. So let's go ahead and dive into today's content. I really do appreciate y'all for being here for real. And like I said, we got a lot of stuff to cover. Bitcoin sitting at 105, Ethereum sitting at 26, XRP's at $2.21, Solana's at 159, right? Chainlink sitting at $14, Sui still at 330. Okay, Stellar's at 27 cents, Hedera's at 17 cents right now. And those are your top 20. Okay, they're sitting in the top 20, some of our top plays. But I want to pull up one project that we've been following, and I think it's only right. Okay, over the last day, we've fallen 23%, 30% last time I saw it. So we are up a little bit. People have definitely bought from 0.004212. Now we're up to 0.0045. ZBEC network, it's about time. right? We've been waiting for this type of pullback, right? We've look at this right here. Look at that right there. There we go, right? So again, y'all, you should have took some profits up here. Okay. I don't think that this is where I wanted to take profits personally. I don't really, I'm in it for the long term. So if again, y'all, this is not financial advice. Okay. This is just entertainment purposes and just to kind of update you all on news. So if you want to understand the charts and things like that, you might want to go and get yourself a chart course or join a Discord community that teaches trading. We do all of that here at Coffee and Crypto in our Discord community. And did I mind you that we do 7 days free? So make sure you all click the link in our bio and join our Discord group today. If you have not joined and you're looking for a community that is consistent, that does not stop, that keeps going, that don't quit when they don't feel like doing it no more, we keep going. We are down right now. Okay, we are down from where we were, and we're only 160% up on the market. This is really, really good news, and this is healthy. So if you did not get the opportunity to get your 100,000 tokens of ZBEC Network, well, right now would be a time for you to start dollar cost averaging potentially, right? So if you wanted to get 100,000 tokens of ZBEC Network right now, it costs you $464. Now that's better than the $700 that it would have cost you not too long ago, right? So we are down a couple $100. I do believe that this thing could fall some more. Where I would like to see a good entry for ZBEC Network is right at 0.003. Point zero. I have enough right now to the point where I don't want to put any more in unless it hits 0.003. So if we come down to 0.003, I will be executing a big buy off of 0.003 personally, but that's just what I'm going to do. That's because of how much I have, how many tokens I've accumulated at 0.001 and 0.002. So 0.003 would be another solid area for me to personally get into this market. You got to decide for you what would be another solid price. Now it is 1017 right now. Y'all know that's my angel number. And now we got to dive into the show. So with that being said, light me up one more time with some coffee. All right. Because we are live, direct, and in full effect. And we are ready to get to a check on this beautiful morning. Now, yesterday, okay, Bitstamp has been acquired by Robinhood. If you look right here, it says Bitstamp by Robinhood. Okay, Robinhood completes acquisition of Bitstamp. The acquisition brings Bitstamp's globally scaled crypto exchange to Robinhood with retail and institutional customers across Europe, US, UK, and Asia. This strategic combination better positions Robinhood to expand outside of the US and bring a trusted, reputable institutional business to Robinhood. Robinhood is trying to get their crypto game together. This acquisition significantly accelerates Robinhood crypto's expansion worldwide, right? Bitstamp holds over 50 active licenses and registrations globally and brings customers across the EU. This is huge news for the cryptocurrency market. And real quick, before we even get started, I gotta highlight one of our members. I wish more of them hopped on like this right here, but I want to highlight LA, Lavana. She did something, got out of her comfort zone, and went with I don't know, I'm not really sure what's going on, as far as the community, but I definitely saw some familiar faces and some great stuff, and it was just amazing to see some great people, coming together out in Vegas. Definitely wish I had made it. I forgot all about it. I ain't even hear. Honestly, I heard more about Bitcoin Las Vegas than XRP Las Vegas, and I forgot about those dates. But I want to say shout out to LA. And at some point in this show, LA is on the Zoom. So if she's still here, once we get into our Ripple segment, I will allow for LA to come up and talk to us about what she experienced, because I think that, it's nothing better than a one, in-person person that was there that can share their experience and what has happened, in her life, in her belief, in her faith, right, in this asset class, right? I'm super excited, yo. Let's light it up for LA, Miss LA, for going out there. She has been locked in with the Coffee and Crypto Network community for years now. And it's just beautiful, really beautiful to see. people expanding their horizons, getting out of their comfort zones, trying to figure out how they can be better, how they can grow, how they can do more, how they can be more involved. That is such a beautiful thing. And I admire that, LA. And I'm definitely jealous and wish I could have been there. But don't worry, next year I will be there and we will live vicariously through your posts and your stories. Okay. But we will invite you up if you are available soon. And, and people, please invite more people to the call. Let them know the YouTube channel's open, the Zoom's channel's open. This is a free call for them to join each and every single Tuesday and Thursday morning at 10 a.m. Now, the first video that I want to share is the Federal Reserve Jerome Powell, okay, saying that the end of the Bretton Woods era in the 1970s fundamentally changed the conduct of monetary policy. The signals are all over the place. Why bring this up now? I want you all to listen to this video.
Had emerged from World War II as a global economic superpower. The Bretton Woods Agreement placed the US and the Fed in a central position in the global economy. Our mission then, as it is now, was to serve the American people. But it was clear at that moment that the Fed needed to have better knowledge of global developments to achieve our dual mandate goals. A 1948 memo proposing to create the division stated, quoting, "Problems of international economics and finance have become increasingly large, complex, and significant in recent years, and our foreign economic relations will undoubtedly continue to give rise to issues of the first magnitude." That rare economic forecast that has turned out to be spot on. 75 years later, it remains critical that the Fed understand the policies and practices of other governments and central banks and their implications for the US economy and for financial markets. Exchange rate policy, of course, is now firmly in the hands of the US Treasury. However, the end of the Bretton Woods era in the 1970s fundamentally changed the conduct of monetary policy, as policymakers had to understand the effects of potentially more volatile movements of the US dollar on American families and businesses. Understanding global trade and capital movements has only grown in importance since 1950, as we saw during the pandemic.
Wow. So when the US dollar became the dominating currency during the Bretton Woods era, right? What I got from that, and again, I'm still learning, right? And I'm just kind of sharing with you all what I'm learning and how I think. And that's why at the end of the show, I always allow people to come up and share. Maybe you have more expert opinion, right? But what I heard with that was back then the US dollar was way more volatile, right? It was super volatile. And it's about to become more volatile because they are creating these stable coins, right? USDC, USDT, RLUSD, right? And many other stable coins out there, right? That we don't cover or talk about, but there's going to be so many stable coins from different blockchain networks. And just understanding that, and we know the nature of crypto, we will understand that the volatility of the dollar, not that the dollar is going to fluctuate in price, but it'll be able to flow a lot more. That's going to affect the economy in a way, right? It may be positive, it may be negative. We have to wait to kind of see what happens. But money moving that fast, being able to be more seamless with cash flow, which is what we're not able to do right now with the physical fiat dollar, it's going to be a lot of shifts and changes for American businesses that we've never experienced before. But being able to look at the past to predict the future is always very, very positive. Okay, family. So so that was one thing. Now, if you all look right here, this was the new riddle that came out for the XRP army, the XRP family. Okay, as you can see, the white flag is coming out of the castle. Okay, you all know that the white flag means surrender. So who's surrendering from the castle? Could this be the SEC? Could this be the elites, the governments? Who knows? But somebody is saying, hey, listen, we don't want to go no forward with it. XRP is the king because as you can see, it's at the top. XRP is above the USD. It's above the Bitcoin. These came in second and third place. XRP came in first place, family. Okay. So just understand that. Give me 2 seconds. I just want to there we go. Okay, and then I want to do. Not sure what happened there, but I think we'll be okay. But anyway, so yeah, so that's what we're looking at, right? Then you have the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road to the pearl, right? And you know, there's a lot of significant facts about the pearl, which I actually saw in the comments down here. And it was interesting, but somebody said, I see a pearl. 2 new stories yesterday with pearl. The terror attack in Boulder was on Pearl Road. Did y'all hear about that? And the attack on Russian planes was called Russia's Pearl Harbor, right? So just interesting comment right there. You know what I'm saying? Seeing so you know, again, we have to break the riddle. I don't know what the answer is. And then here's the key. The key sits in the middle of whoever's surrendering and the pearl is the key sitting inside of the grass, right? So, you know, if you're good at riddles, you know, these things can be fun. I just wanted to kind of show you that, you know, this is chess, not checkers. Now, this parody page right here, I do like this parody page, not Jerome Powell, that's the name of the parody page, but this right here says, this is not Apple, this is not Tesla, or even NVIDIA, it's the U.S. national debt clock. Family, since before 1994, but we can just look right here, y'all. Look, Jerome just keep on printing, right? Look at this, y'all. This is the debt clock. This is the only market in the world with no pullbacks. This is what people want to see with XRP. This is what your patience level looks like when it comes to wanting XRP to just do this, right? I understand. I get it, right? But this is not a sustainable market. This is why we are in such bad turmoil. Because see, if there was some pullbacks where we could have went back there and it went up and pulled back to 4 trillion, but none of that happened. This market has went up indefinitely since the day they turned the money printers on, which was what? Bretton Woods. Okay. Now, question. What if Russia suddenly realized, now this is from Max Kaiser, who we know is a huge Bitcoin maxi. Okay, he's a huge Bitcoin maxi. He says, what if Russia suddenly realized they have a very high strategic advantage and could buy 1 million Bitcoin faster than the US and win the global hash war? Incredibly cheap energy costs, extremely low debt of 14.9% to GDP, ability to print own currency, issuing 100 billion in bit bonds is easy for Russia. Buy 1 to 5 million Bitcoin, no problemo. Now, the comments, people said, sorry, Max, you know, not going to happen. It says if Russia printed that much currency, the inflation would catapult the economy into 1990s style crisis in record time. Isn't inflation already record rates, right? So, people have their different opinions on it. Now, I'm going to tell you what Dan Pena, I still stand next to Big Dan, right? When Dan Pena told you about Bitcoin, okay? And again, y'all, these guys are Bitcoin maxis. They're going to push the narrative on Bitcoin for as long as they can because it's in the best interest of their money going up the same way it's been going up over the years. Pay attention to what Dan Pena had to say in his shiny bedazzled Christmas sweater.
You know who's behind Bitcoin? Putin. It's a Ruski conspiracy to fuck up the American economy and the world. It's a long-range plan he started 7-8 years ago. He's going to see the demise of the Western financial world while he's still the head of Russia. He's going to be there long enough. And he's already hacked into the brains of all the morons. You.
You, you, the YouTubers. All right, so um Kaiser, number one, y'all. He had a show on Russia Today, right? And he proudly rips up US dollars, now pulling for Russia to win the global hash war. If I were the Bitcoin crowd, I'd start getting as far away from this clown as possible, right? And he says, the digital asset investor says, I'm looking at you, Senator Lumens. Interesting. Now, I want to get off of Bretton Woods and the gold standard and the devaluation of the dollar, and I want to get into technology now. Because there's different segments of our show. I want to start from a clip from Michael Saylor. I think we played this before, but it came back around, and I thought that it would be good to play again. But this is Michael Saylor back in 2012 explaining the Apple stock. Now, it's interesting. Okay. And I'm going to share my thoughts about it, but it's very interesting. And I would like to know you guys' thoughts in the comments on YouTube after we post this video up, maybe on what you thought about this segment of the show. But with that being said, enjoy this clip from Michael Saylor, 2012 Apple stock.
There's not an 8-year-old on the planet that doesn't want an iPhone 5. Right? Who wants to wait 42 seconds to watch something download instead of 2 seconds? Nobody. And to watch something download instead of 2 seconds.
Okay. All right. I'm back quick. Cause I gotta break this video down for y'all real quick. Listen to what he said.
Right? Who wants to wait 42 seconds to watch something download instead of 2 seconds?
Okay. I think y'all know where I'm going with this. Michael Saylor is the biggest Bitcoin investor in the world. He owns the biggest company that, is all about Bitcoin, right? And Bitcoin is just that. It's downloading things at 40 something seconds instead of 2 seconds. It's transferring money in 10, 15, 30 minutes to an hour to 24 hours, right? Depending on the network congestion, to XRP being the thing that he's talking about in comparison. So it's a little awkward that we heard that in the first 5 seconds of his talk, but let's finish this up.
Nobody. Right? You don't have to be a genius to run Apple Computer. You just have to every year make the product a bit lighter, a bit more elegant, make it a better radio, make it a better battery. And then I sat with, one of the 10 richest guys in the world for dinner 5 nights ago, and we had dinner for 4 hours, and he did half the talking, I did half the talking, and he's much more successful than I am. I understand that, by the way. As I said, sometimes you got to do other things than just have opinions to make money, right? There's a lot of execution involved in the rest, but I have opinions. So he said to me, Apple Computer, can these guys hold their prices? Aren't they going to follow the model of the PC industry? And aren't their prices going to taper down? Their 40% margins going to become 30 and 35 and 20. And it's another example of people just know enough to hurt themselves, right? If you go to France, and this is the benefit of seeing enough, you go to France, you see Bernardo Arnault runs a company, LVMH. They're selling handbags for $4,000, $3,000, $2,500 each. This is a device that women view as fashion, and it's 10,000 years old. And for 10,000 years, no, the prices are not lower after 10,000 years. If you actually...
All right. So just the story, right? So I thought that was a good one to kind of bring us back to what Bitcoin really is, right? It's a beta test coin. Jacob King, who's the CEO of Whalewire. Whalewire delivers real-time, unbiased coverage of everything crypto and finance. Okay, so seems like a channel. He says that Bitcoin's, and I love this, and that's why I wanted to bring it up. Bitcoin's whole story is a staged illusion, scripted by insiders to convince your governments and institutions are all in, and that this market is booming on real demand. This is the largest bubble in human history, set to go down as the largest financial scandal ever. Ask yourself, if Bitcoin is so decentralized and powerful, why do the same few entities control the narrative, control the wallets, and control the laws? It's all smoke and mirrors. And here's proof. I love me a good threader. I love me a good thread on Twitter. So the first thing he brought up was El Salvador. He said so-called Bitcoin investment was a manufactured illusion. There's no evidence of any purchases. Only fresh blockchain data shows that 6,111 of the 6,114 Bitcoin in their treasury wasn't even bought. It was transferred straight from Bitfinex and Tether. Oh my God. Lord, of course they're behind it. Oh, and did I mention Tether also wrote all of the El Salvador's Bitcoin bills? No, 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 no. Whoa, 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 whoa. No, no, no. Hold on. No way. No way. No way, no way, no way. Okay, let's see here. El Salvador's adoption of Bitcoin as legal tender in 2021 and the subsequent move of Tether to El Salvador. Hold on, what? Of Tether to El Salvador sparked interest in the country's crypto policy. In January 2025, Tether, a cryptocurrency company, relocated its corporate headquarters to El Salvador. Wow. Oh, we cooking, Frankie. We cooking. That was the first thing. We can go through that whole thing, but we ain't gonna go through all that. Matter of fact, this is what I'm gonna do for y'all. Here you go. For my Discord people, I'm gonna drop this in the receipts section because we got the receipts. There you go. Boom. Boom. There y'all go right there. Y'all can go through it too. Proof is in the pudding. Let's get back to this here. Number 2, Jack Mallers is a part of the inner circle and deeply tied to the Tether Bitfinex machine. His new firm, 21 Capital, claimed it's making massive Bitcoin investments, but on-chain data reveals a whopping 14,000 Bitcoin came straight from Tether's reserves. Oh, wow. And he gave the proof. Shoot. Okay. Michael Saylor is running the same reflective Ponzi loop. I guarantee Saylor has ties to the same insider ecosystem propping this whole thing up. Strategy isn't innovating. It's one of the riskiest, most leveraged stocks in the market. They're not investing in Bitcoin. They're milking it. The playbook is clear. Raise capital, buy Bitcoin, hype up price, raise more, repeat. It's a circular scheme built on hopium and hype. Number 4, Tether and Bitcoin are caught in a circular backing loop. Tether supports Bitcoin. Bitcoin supports Tether. This setup is a ticking time bomb. At Bitcoin 2025, BTC maximalist Saifedean Ammous, author of the Bitcoin Standard, finally said what everyone's thinking. This is what he said. Tether is quietly accumulating Bitcoin, steadily growing its reserves. One day, its Bitcoin holdings could surpass its dollar reserves. Then Tether won't just maintain its peg, it might actually revalue higher. Picture a stablecoin worth more than $1, backed by Bitcoin instead of treasuries. This mirrors the collapse of Mt. Gox and Lehman Brothers. When liquidity vanishes, the entire house of cards falls. No real assets, just volatile claims propping each other up. Brace for a massive crash. Number 5, at Bitcoin 2025 conference, Tether announced it owns over 100,000 Bitcoin and more than 50 tons of gold. Sounds sketchy as hell. Here's the play. Tether mints millions out of the thin air. So they just mint millions of dollars out of thin air. I'm going to keep going. Number 6, institutional demand for Bitcoin is just a fad. On June 2nd, Bitcoin spot ETF saw 267.5 million in net outflows, marking 3 days in a row of money leaving. This isn't one time thing. It's been going on for months, showing institutions are pulling out fast. Here's the proof. Here's the proof. BlackRock, we can go through these right here. We can go through the numbers. We can go through the numbers. Okay. What's the next one? So, yeah. So this whole Bitcoin ecosystem is nothing but smoke and mirrors. So let's talk about the thing that's not smoke and mirrors. And let's hear from Brad Garlinghouse a couple years ago when he made this bold statement that I still stand 10 toes behind.
I have said publicly before that I think 99% of all crypto probably goes to zero. But there is that 1% where I think that is focused on solving a real problem for real customers and is able to do that at scale. And that's going to be game changing. And I think that's going to continue to grow significantly in the decades ahead.
Wow. 99% of cryptos will probably go to zero, and there's 1%. Well, here's the head of research at Uphold, and this is his tweet. The head of research from Uphold, Dr. Martin Heisboek, says hundreds of crypto projects will go bankrupt in the next 6 months. They are quickly running out of runway. They have no cash, and the tokens are increasingly worthless. The ICO model is finally drawing its last breath. This is from one of the smartest guys on the planet when it comes to research for crypto, right? And actually, I'm glad to see that. Head of research at Uphold. That sounds like something Vincent Owens could do. I feel like I could head some research somewhere. So that is the type of position. This is why I like looking at these things, because you learn stuff about yourself, job opportunities, ways to be able to position things on your resume. That's what I've been doing. I've been doing research for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, y'all. Top tier research. We be calling this stuff out before some of these people do, right? Cool. Keep that in the back of your head, Vio. Now, I want to show you all the reason why the time for XRP is coming. Pay attention. May 29th, 2025, from vision to realization, tokenizing real estate on the XRP ledger. Yes, we talked about this before. The Dubai Land Department and Vera, which is Dubai's virtual asset regulatory authority, they actually have a asset regulatory authority in Dubai known as Vera, right? Vera. And they came together and they decided that the global rise of real world asset tokenization is happening, right? And so now they're planning on tokenizing real estate, right? Real estate from Dubai directly on the XRP ledger, right? So there's over the years, Ripple has supported multiple real estate tokenization pilots, from one in Colombia, right, to Hong Kong, to now Dubai. What comes next? We believe that tokenizing real estate can unlock significant value across multiple dimensions. It creates new forms of liquidity that benefit both retail and institutional investors. It enhances transparency around ownership and title verification, reducing friction in real estate transactions. It introduces programmable features that enable use cases like collateralization, fractional ownership, and automated yield. And critically, it increases interoperability, making real estate more accessible within global digital asset markets. But success depends on getting the foundation right. That's why Ripple is committed to building not just the tech, but the partnerships and regulatory models that make real estate tokenization viable in the long term. We're talking about trillions of dollars going into this ecosystem from real world asset tokenization of the real estate market. Now, I'm going to play this quick clip. This is from Entrepreneur TV Middle East. This was at a conference that's happening, and I believe it either just ended or it's about to end, but listen up.
Ladies and gentlemen, to Entrepreneur TV Middle East, we're here day 2 at FinTech, and with me is Reese. He is the managing director at Ripple. Thank you so much for coming once again. Lovely seeing you.
Great to be here.
How's everything at Ripple?
Awesome. Yeah, great things happening. So we recently announced that we just had and received our DFSA license. So we're a fully licensed payment service provider for cross-border payments here in the region. And we're the
Amazing.
first blockchain-enabled payment provider, which is huge.
Amazing. How do you build that trust in such a decentralized area such as blockchain?
Look, I think Ripple have been in the market for a long time now. We're
Yeah.
often viewed as the adult in the room as it comes to blockchain and crypto. And I think it's early engagement with regulators. I think the UAE is phenomenal because they open the doors to be able to provide an overview of what you're looking to do, how you're looking to do it.
Mhm.
They want to learn, and they want to actually put a framework in place which allows businesses like Ripple to come
Right.
here and build.
Right. Is there any sort of fintech trend that you love and that you hate?
Oh,
One that you would completely want to remove and one that you would want to advance even further?
look, I think I'll talk about what I love. I love the fact that there's certain regions and geographies where they are embracing it and enabling it. And I think UAE is kind of one of those areas. I think that payments is the killer use case as I see for fintech. And I think that, we're going to see some huge growth there.
Great. What sort of future plans can we see for Ripple coming on the horizon?
Continuation of what we're doing. We've grown 50% over the last couple of years here in Dubai. We've just got our license, which enables us to serve FIs, large payment service providers in the region for cross-border payments. And I think we'll see a continuation of stable coins and custody. So lots going on.
Great stuff, Reese. Thank you so much for coming over.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
What do y'all think? What do y'all think? Smash the thumbs up button, man. Like this video, please. It really does help us. It's free to like it. Like the video for me right now over on YouTube. And also, please subscribe to our channel as we are literally a few, like 100 people away or something like that from being at 1,000 subscribers finally. It's been a long journey of building this YouTube channel. I believe that we low-key got shadow banned low-key from our last channel. And we got blessed to have this one, so really grateful. And we'll take what we got. We're building this thing slow and steady, so please smash that thumbs up button and like this video. What I want to do real quick before we move forward to this next clip, I want to invite up LA just to talk about her experience. I'm gonna give her the floor because we share a lot of value here anyway. It's not even, it's already 10:47. I know she's not gonna be too long, but I'll finish up the rest of the show, the last couple of slides. But before we move on to anything else, I want to give Miss LA time to shine. So before she come up, can y'all light us up real quick? And in all your chats, every chat you got, go and say LA going live right now. Hop on the call talking about XRP Las Vegas. You guys are going to be able to hear about this live and be able to live through her vicariously through her story. So let's light up our sister. You know what I mean? Just the journey that she's been on. I'm very grateful and thankful to have someone like her that's a part of our community that's out here really getting to it. So LA, if you're available, you can come up and just share your experience from XRP Las Vegas. We'd love to hear about it and kind of, what the vision is moving forward with Ripple from what you can understand. See if Miss LA is available. Okay. She may have stepped away. People are on the call. Sometimes you got to step away. So we'll try back with Miss LA soon, but we will continue with the story. I know she was here earlier. She's still on the Zoom link, but she may have, stepped away for any reason, but that's okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to move to this next video as we wait for LA. But we're going to move to this next video, which is a minute. This was kind of interesting. So listen up.
The next 2 years in the UAE, you will be able to do more with cryptocurrency as a day-to-day than you'll be able to do with dirham or dollars at the end of the day.
That's huge, huh?
This is, mark my word, in 2 years' time, the world has started to change. We have started to see, for instance, Japan, Singapore, Switzerland have started to adopt this. So, going back to your question, coming as adoption into the new world, you will be able very soon, and inshallah. And when I say I'm going to do it, I am a person, and whoever knows me in the audience knows I do action what I say. My dream, and I know it will happen. I would like to see someone tomorrow coming and paying for his coffee using a cryptocurrency.
Ooh, hey, that's what I like to hear right there. What do you want somebody to do tomorrow?
For his coffee using a cryptocurrency. I would like to see someone coming and buying his land,
Don't worry.
his house, paying his rent,
Don't worry.
paying his fines, or using his utilities through crypto.
Don't worry. Hey, he gonna see that soon. Count on coffee and crypto. You're gonna see that real soon, buddy. Okay, definitely on the way, man. So you know what I mean? Definitely excited. But with that being said, more good news para chunta. Para tu chunta. You know what I mean? The enterprise grade DLT just entered the ETP market. Shout out to Hedera Hashgraph. 21 shares. We're proud to launch the 21 shares Hedera ETP, giving investors exposures to Hedera's energy efficiency, energy efficient, high-speed network backed by global giants like Google and IBM. Now available on Euronext, Amsterdam, and Paris. It is on the way, family. The 21 shares Hedera ETP offers investors a liquid way to integrate the ETP, which tracks HBAR, into their portfolios through their bank or broker, tapping into Hedera's unique role in bringing blockchain to real-world business applications. Right? This is it. This is it right here. Okay? This is it. Assets under management right now. Okay? Who's the custodian? BitGo. The fund custodian is BitGo. Who do we know is, look at this right here, y'all. BitGo and Hedera. All of this stuff is going to make sense. All of it is going to make sense. Look at this. BitGo joins the Hedera Council. So BitGo is a Hedera Council member. So who's custodian the funds, right? Who is Foresight Global Services LLC? You know, I'll be looking at all this stuff right here. Who are they owned by, right? Who are they owned by? Let's see. Control V, ownership. Let's see. Who are they owned by? Let's see here. Okay. I don't even know who they are. Let's see here. Okay. Foresight Global Services LLC. See, you gotta look these people up right here. I'm just doing this for fun. And y'all know me, I just like having fun. But you gotta look these people up, y'all, because it all ties back. If you really want to put the puzzle pieces together, you'll see. If you really look this stuff up, it'll all add up. But this is the new Hedera ETF that is available. This is huge news. And lastly, but certainly not the least, okay, check this out. This is John Wingate, who is the Bank Social CEO. Now, y'all know I'm bullish on Bank Social, okay? Y'all know I like Bank Social. Okay, y'all know how I feel about that one, okay? This I had to share with my community because, you know, we invest into it. He says, what an honor. 20 of Latin America's largest banks in the regulators of several countries have invited me to help set Web3 legislation. We are putting on the first Web3 government event. Bank Social is the lead sponsor. On stage in a few. And then he hashtags BSL, HBAR, and XRP. Use cases. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. So anyway, I think that is enough information. Oh, yeah. Last but certainly not least, don't let me forget this, y'all. Don't let me forget this. This is for all my people who got jobs out here, my employed people. Okay, you can now turn your paycheck into XRP back. Earn 4% XRP back automatically on payday. It's like getting a bonus every time you get paid. Start earning XRP. Get started. Okay, so you can copy your bank details, open your Uphold app, tap the deposit shortcut. Okay, open your payroll provider, ADP, Gusto, Workday, ZBank Network. Okay, and add Uphold as a new direct deposit using the account details you copied. XRP back is capped at $200 per month. Shoot, that's a lot of XRP. $200 a month. Please. So with that being said, I am done here. I want to open up, y'all already know how we do, man. Raise those hands up. If you got anything to say, feel free. We will hear from LA on Thursday. She is busy. She had some things to handle this morning. Just now getting back from Vegas and have to handle some things for her family. So please be here on Thursday. And I'm gonna try to invite a couple of people that I saw there. We might have a XRP Las Vegas roundtable here on Coffee and Crypto. LA, maybe you can help me put that together. I think that would be dope. But if there's anybody that has anything to say, feel free to unmute. We still have 4 minutes left in the show. I'm about to sit back and enjoy my breakfast. All right. But if they ain't nobody that got anything to say, then you know what I mean. With that being said, okay. I want to say thank y'all so much for coming through and, just spending a little time with us here at Coffee and Crypto. I want to say thank you to all of our boot camp members who joined our boot camp. We are going live direct and in full effect. The boot camp was amazing yesterday morning. Absolutely incredible. Yesterday evening. So I want to say thank you all so much. We will be going again Wednesday as well. Same time, 8 p.m. And if you did not join this boot camp and you're interested in joining our next boot camp, we will start promoting that in the next couple of weeks. Hopefully you can be a part of that cohort. But until next time, until Thursday, y'all have an amazing rest of your day. And I will see y'all at the beaches and the banks of the world. Peace.